So as a creative agency, we took a slightly different approach to what a lot of different brands, or let's say the core brands that normally end up in outdoor, tend to do. And we used it as an awareness campaign, which is let's call it the core of what outdoor is. Outdoor isn't a call to action. Outdoor is an awareness product when it comes to media. And it worked really, really well for that. So our creative was quite simple. It was get a fresh perspective. And we had a bit of a odd, eclectic mix of people and animals and Star Wars figurines in the creative, and was basically pushing us as a creative agency. We had minimal call to action elements. I don't believe we had our telephone number in. All we stuck in there was our web address. And generally we found the campaign worked really, really well. What we find when we run outdoor is that there's an increase on the digital side. We find our brand terms don't increase because we're an unknown brand, but our industry terms and our payoff line. So we had get a fresh perspective. So we found a 31% increase in our geographic catchment area in terms of search volume, which we track very, very closely. And then also our organic traffic started kicking in. So basically, outdoor is a really high frequency medium. If you go to work the same way every day for 2 weeks, you've seen that same sign. And because it's in Sandton, you've probably sat and watched it for at least 5 minutes in the traffic. So after 2 weeks, you've seen that 10 times. The brand starts to register. So what we found over a slightly longer term, we moved away from generic terms like ad agency to things like IMS creative agency, IMS digital agency. So we found a nice shift, and it's really nice to see. It's because, well, it means at least that people are taking notice of the creative. With the volume of traffic on the roads we were on, the campaign worked really, really well for us. We saw over the campaign period a 31% increase in our volume through Google Analytics on our website, driven twofold. One with direct traffic, so from our SEO and our awareness efforts, where people saw IMS, typed in IMS, clicked on our link and went through to the website. And the other one was an uptake in terms of people searching for us, our ads being triggered on Google and them clicking on it. Organic traffic increased by roughly 16% over the period that we ran the campaign. Keeping in mind our campaign shifted, which is one of the things I love about the Superlight product. You can have it 1 month on William Nicol, the next month on Sandton Drive, and a month later on another major arterial road leading into whatever neighborhood you choose. So we can track when a person types in our own company name, brand term, and the result gets popped up on Google. If they click on it, we track that through as a click, and we saw a 16% roughly over the period increase in our organic traffic. We had roughly a 13% increase in the number of inquiries during the campaign period. And how we track that is we've got a normalization baseline that we know what we get on a monthly basis, and anything that goes above that norm we track as increased via a specific channel. So basically we knew that we were getting a certain number of inquiries on a weekly basis. When the campaign went up, and we know what the catchment area or the targeted area for the campaign was as well, we saw an uptake of around about 13% inquiries inbound to us. So one of the benefits and one of the things we love about outdoor is once a campaign goes up, there's a slight increase, and it reaches a peak after a certain while and plateaus out because you're generally reaching the same people. Your frequency is there and they know about you. They either want to use you or they don't. But what we find when the campaign comes down, you don't get an immediate drop off. You get this long tail, which we measured took about 16 to 18 days to decrease over time. So as a business, we've got two types of clients. Clients that use us on a regular basis and clients who work with us on a project basis. So we might do work for them once, twice, 3, maybe 4 times a year. We found our existing clients within a week of the campaign going up. Anyone who saw it actually mentioned it to us when they saw us. Some of our clients actually took photographs and emailed them to us and said, hey, we saw one of your team members, or we saw something. And then what we started finding a little bit over time, our clients that we'd work with on a less frequent basis actually made contact with us and said, you know, I've actually got a small project, or I've got something, can you help us with it? And we actually increased our business from our existing base. If you look at your cost per reach, outside of radio, outdoor has got the lowest cost per reach. And one of the nice things is outdoor is a lot more targeted than radio. Your cost per relevant reach is the cheapest in the industry. And outdoor works really well in terms of convergence marketing if you tie it in with other channels. So if you can create a bit of brand awareness, top of mind awareness through outdoor, and then tie that up into other campaigns, we've shown time and time and time again that it works really, really well. So we definitely run a Super Life campaign again, but we'd tweak our creative to make our campaign more effective. But as a medium, absolutely loved it, loved the campaign, and loved working with the Adreach team.